Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today we're going to be featuring 1974 in 50 years of horror fiction. One thing I want to say is if you kind of hear a droning noise or a whirring noise or whatever in the background, that is someone who is vacuuming, and it's kind of noisy. I've got this door shut. Of course, I always shut that door anyway, and then I've got a sliding door that's shut as well, but I can hear it pretty well, but hopefully you guys won't hear it too badly and can hear me all right. So one thing about 1974 is there were two authors, and we're going to talk about them with these the 5 books that I talk about right here. We had 2 authors that made their debuts in 1974. So that being said, let's go ahead and get underway. So the first author that made his debut in 1974 was Stephen King with Carrie. Unpopular at school and subjected to her mother's religious fanaticism at home, Carrie White does not have it easy. But while she may be picked on by her classmates, she has a gift she's kept secret since she was a little girl. She can move things with her mind. Doors lock, candles fall. Her ability has been both a power and a problem. And when she finds herself the recipient of a sudden act of kindness, Carrie feels like she's finally been given a chance to be normal. She hopes that the nightmare of her classmates' vicious taunts is over. But an unexpected and cruel prank turns her gift into a weapon of horror so destructive that the town may never recover. And, of course, that is Carrie by Stephen King. Alright, I mean, there's no way I could not talk about 1974 and without including this book, so. And you know what, the same thing goes for this next one. And this is The Rats, and this is by James Herbert. It was only when the bones of the first devoured victims were discovered that the true nature and power of these swarming black creatures with their razor-sharp teeth and the taste for human blood began to be realized by a panic-stricken city. For millions of years, man and rats had been natural enemies, but now, for the first time, suddenly, shockingly, horribly, the balance of power had shifted. And that is The Rats, and that is by James Herbert. All right. Okay, now moving on. We have got The Burrowers Beneath, and this is book 1 in the Titus Crow series. And this is also listed as a book of the Cthulhu mythos, and it is by Brian Lumley. The Titus Crow novels are adventure horror full of acts of nobility and heroism, featuring travel to exotic locations and alternate planes of existence as Titus Crow and his faithful companion and record keeper fight the gathering forces of darkness wherever they arise. The menaces are the infamous and deadly elder gods of the work of H.P. Lovecraft. Cthulhu and his dark minions are bent on ruling the earth or destroying it. A few puny humans cannot possibly stand against these otherworldly evil gods, yet time after time, Titus Crow defeats the monsters and drives them back into the dark from whence they came. And that is The Burrowers Beneath, or at least kind of a more of a blanket synopsis of the Titus Crow books. I didn't necessarily find one that told you exactly what The Burrowers Beneath is about. One thing about it is the cover, just about all of the covers of this book, you notice the tentacles coming out, kind of reminds me of the elder god Shudamael from the Eldritch Horror board game. So I wonder if that might have a little bit to do with it. If anybody knows, if they read this book, let me know. What is there a name for this this hideous tentacle creature coming out of the wall or out of the ground or whatever on the book cover? All right. Okay, next up, this one has a very brief synopsis. This is The Windcliff by Louise Lawrence. It is listed as horror and young adult. That cover's really nice, really awesome. Kind of got that little bit of a gothic feel to it. Anyway, the synopsis of this says, as she becomes increasingly involved with the spirit of a long-dead poet, a lonely young girl withdraws more and more from the real world. That is the entire synopsis of The Windcliff by Louise Lawrence. All right. Okay, and last but not least, and when I was looking for this, or when I found this book, and then I was looking for a larger cover, I thought, I'm probably not going to find a larger cover. What I didn't realize is that this is one of the newest books in the Paperbacks from Hell series, and the book I'm talking about is Gwen in Green, and this is by Hugh Zachary. After receiving a large insurance settlement, young couple Gwen and George fulfill a dream by buying their own little island, a secluded private paradise surrounded by a lush green landscape of plants. What the real estate man didn't tell them was that a tragedy took place years earlier in the cool, clear pool near the house, and the waters still hold a terrifying centuries-old secret. Soon George begins to notice strange changes in his wife. Always so reserved and demure, suddenly Gwen has become passionate and insatiable. And then there are the people who have mysteriously started to disappear. And that is Gwen in Green, and that is by Hugh Zachary. All right, so that is going to do it for 1974. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.